The Four Afterlives of the Bible, Part 1. Throughout the Bible, there are many mentions of other gods that tempt and sway the children of Israel away from the God of Israel. In this continuing series, Gods of the Bible, we'll go over who these gods are, where these gods come from, and how these gods affect the Bible. Previously, we covered the Enuma Elish and the Bible. We discussed the differences in the creation stories of the Enuma Elish and Genesis. We also discussed how the Enuma Elish was created and when the Bible began to be written and how close in time each was written to each other. Sheol. When looking at the afterlives of different religions, there is a similar theme that most of the ancient religions share. That common theme was that the gods forgot to make an afterlife. Although there are subtle differences between the different ancient religions, many of the Near East, Greek, and Latin mythologies lack a proper afterlife. For many, the only thing that awaited life after death was a dark cave, where the souls withered away into shades. For the ancient Babylonians, when a person died, they would go to a dark cave, or a place beneath the earth known as Arula. Since the ancient Babylonians adopted and changed the older Mesopotamian religions, Sumer and the other Mesopotamian mythologies share the same afterlife. In the greater Mesopotamian afterlife, the souls of the dead, regardless of divinity, kingship, or commoner, all went to the underworld. For the Mesopotamians, the underworld was literally a place under the earth. These lost souls would be mere shades of their former selves. The souls would turn into powerless spirits without light and without hope. This was a place that even the gods would go to when they died. This concept of lost souls becoming shades of their former selves is also similar to the afterlives of the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans. The ancient Greeks and ancient Romans have a more sophisticated afterlife than the Mesopotamian counterparts. All people that died would go to Hades. Hades was then further segmented with Tartarus and Elysium. For the average individual, their soul would go to Hades. Hades is described as a dark cave-like place where the souls are husks of their former selves. There is no light from Mount Olympus nor warmth. The Greek and Roman underworld was often described as being underground, far beneath the earth. The similarities between the Greek and Roman afterlives and the Babylonian and Mesopotamian afterlives are clear. The basic building blocks of each respective afterlives come down to a dark subterranean place without the light of the gods and its inhabitants becoming husks or shades of their former selves. This afterlife was permanent, without a way for the souls to have a better afterlife. With a basic understanding of some other ancient ideas of the afterlife, we can begin to compare their ideas with the Bible's. What most people don't understand about the Bible is that there are actually 4 different afterlives in the Bible. The first afterlife and the topic of this video is Sheol. I shall go down to my son and mourn unto Sheol. Sheol can be translated roughly as the place where the dead people are placed. Sheol is a forgotten afterlife in the Bible mainly due to the actions of Jesus in the New Testament. Sheol is described as the place where souls go to as they await final judgment. Sheol is mentioned around 66 times in the Old Testament and is a grim place. For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In thy grave who shall thee thanks? Sheol is described as a place without the light of God. It is a joyless place, often described as a gray world beneath the earth. All humans went to Sheol. This is the first distinction between the Bible and the other religions. As divine beings do not die, they would not go to Sheol. The souls in Sheol have a similar fate to the souls of Mesopotamia and the Hellenistic and Latin religions. The souls that find their way into Sheol become shades. Their strength and power is drained from them. Sheol does not distinguish between rank, condition, rich, poor, master, or slave. However, there is another distinction between Sheol and these other religions. In Sheol, the shades or shadows of the people who go there still retain a resemblance of self. Unlike the other myths where the souls wander around confused and disoriented for all eternity, the shades of Sheol still have a concept of who they were and what they did in life. King David went to Sheol in peace, while warriors still retained their weapons. Despite evidence of the inhabitants of Sheol retaining some self-remembrance, the overarching truth of Sheol is that it is a place where souls become husks of their former selves. Although Sheol shares some similarities with the underworlds of the Greek and Latins, or the Mesopotamians, there is still one major difference that fundamentally stands apart. That major difference is that Sheol was always supposed to be a place of holding. In the Bible and in the rabbinical and expanded texts, Sheol was always a place of holding and waiting for the righteous souls to await the time of final judgment. The souls of the wicked would go to Gehenna. Sheol is a temporary place and was never meant to be permanent. Sheol was always a place of waiting until the day of final judgment where the souls would be judged, and then go to the place of final rest. Even though Sheol is similar to the Greek and Roman and Mesopotamian afterlives, the key differences between them set them apart. Sheol's shades retain their identity, they maintain their ability to reason, they are at peace, and lastly, Sheol is temporary. Compared to the other afterlives, the shades do not retain their identity, they do not retain their reason, they wander the underworld for eternity, and their afterlife was permanent. Despite the similarities of the souls becoming shades or shadows, the outcome of each life could not be more different, and these differences set them apart in a significant way, with the promise of Sheol being that it is temporary. With an understanding of what Sheol is, then we can begin to understand that all humans when they died went to Sheol. That would mean that all humans when they died did not go to heaven. Instead, they must wait for the time of final judgment before they could reach the place of final rest. Since human souls go to Sheol awaiting final judgment, then why is this important information about one's afterlife not mentioned more? For Christians, there's a good reason for that. In Christian tradition, after Jesus died on the cross, he went into Sheol and Gehenna to rescue the souls and bring them to heaven. Through the actions of Jesus, the righteous souls no longer go to Sheol, but instead, through Jesus, are allowed to go directly to heaven. Through Jesus, Sheol is no longer necessary as a place of holding for the righteous. Instead, souls can await final judgment in heaven. With the actions of Jesus in Christian tradition, it is no wonder that many Christians forgot about the first afterlife that humans had before Jesus. Despite the actions of Jesus, Sheol is still around in the Bible with Gehenna, the pit of fire, in the Old Testament. Does the fact that so many religions have a similar idea of an afterlife give credibility to its existence? Do you know about Sheol and the different afterlives of the Bible? Did you know that the traditions of Jesus going to Sheol to rescue the lost souls? Do you believe Sheol exists today? And if the righteous souls no longer reside there, who does? Let me know in the comment section below, and for more Supernatural History TV, like and subscribe.